然后我看很多人还在那里吐槽 diss 新规如何对于我们女性不利。
Until today, I still see many of my sisters complaining about the changes to the new marriage law, saying that these changes are unfavorable to women. However, if you look closely at the entire new marriage law, its core is actually to protect the strong, regardless of gender. If you are strong, whether female or male, the new marriage law will protect your interests. On the contrary, if you are weak, whether male or female, the protection the new law offers will be relatively limited. In other words, this new regulation is mainly designed to prevent the assets of the strong from being unfairly taken or lost. Speaking of many of my sisters who are now stay-at-home mothers, I really don't recommend women blindly becoming full-time moms after the introduction of this new marriage law. To be honest, after the introduction of this new marriage law, how many women would dare to blindly become full-time mothers? Spending every day at home, taking care of children, doing laundry, cooking, these trivial tasks. All the assets before marriage are now no longer related to us women. This really feels unfair to us women. As a woman who has already been through a divorce and gained some experience, I feel that this new marriage law is actually a good thing. Because it guarantees that all my assets before marriage belong to me. If I remarry in the future, all my assets will still be mine. Even the assets I give to my children will solely belong to them. No man will be able to take even a penny from me. This kind of protection allows us to be less dependent on our partners, at least in terms of financial rights. More importantly, all my sisters must remember, get your own money. You must all focus on earning money. Never blindly depend on a man. People can change. For example, a man might say to you, "This house is a gift to you." It sounds sweet, but who knows what will happen in the future? Some men may treat you well today, saying, "I will always take care of you, everything I have is yours," but tomorrow? You might be abandoned. When a man changes his heart, he will immediately say, "Why should you get a share of my house? This is my home. Why should I give you any assets? You're just a gold digger." Sisters, how often does this happen in real life? So we must not only look at the present, we need to plan for the future. So sisters, there's no need to overreact to the changes in the new marriage law because, in the end, it protects the interests of the strong, the capable ones. If you are strong, it will protect you. So sisters, hurry up and start earning money. That's the most important thing.
2025年新婚姻法给我们女性敲响了警钟，2月1号就开始实行了。
Starting from February 1st, 2025, the new marriage law has raised a warning for women. The introduction of this law marks a re-examination of the role of women in marriage. In the past, many women believed that men are responsible for earning money and supporting the family, while women are responsible for looking beautiful. However, this saying is no longer applicable. The new marriage law clearly states that the law will protect the financially stronger party, which means that if you are not economically independent in a marriage, once faced with separation or divorce, you may find that your efforts and sacrifices are not legally recognized. For many women, giving up their careers after marriage to become a full-time housewife, take care of children, and care for the elderly is full of hardship and dedication. But in reality, all this housework can only be considered as self-sacrifice out of your own willingness and cannot be converted into legal rights and guarantees. For example, housework, cooking, and childcare, which seem like natural responsibilities, have no actual value in the eyes of the law. Instead, they may cause you to miss out on your economic independence. You've worked hard for years and made countless contributions to your family, but the law's judgment is this: you have no income, no property, and all your efforts cannot be converted into your rightful share of the assets in the event of divorce. As for some women who might face violence or infidelity, encountering emotional abuse, domestic violence, or cheating in their marriage, these situations do not have a decisive impact on property distribution during divorce. The house belongs to whoever bought it, and the money earned by each party after marriage will be divided proportionally. Marriage is no longer just a shelter from the storm for anyone. Therefore, women should never hold on to the ideal of being a full-time mother in marriage, especially in this new era. Relying on a man's meager income not only wastes a woman's precious youth, but if a divorce occurs, you might end up with nothing. Many people have never recognized the value and contribution of women in marriage, and the introduction of the new marriage law has only made these people feel more justified. They may feel that the efforts women put into marriage are not worth mentioning. In the face of this reality, women should wake up and realize that relying on a spouse is unreliable. Instead of wasting years of youth on having children, we might as well go out and earn money. Whoever wants to have children should find someone willing to have them. Look at those successful and independent women who make money with their own abilities. Once they have money, they don't need a man to have children. And with money, they can find a younger boyfriend to date, and their lives can still be wonderful. A woman sitting in anyone's passenger seat is never as good as holding the steering wheel herself.
以后衣服你自己洗。
凭啥？我不洗。
你说凭啥？
From now on, you can wash your own clothes. Why do I have to do these things? Why should I do them? Have you seen the new marriage law that was recently passed? Regarding the division of marital property. In the end, it's simple. Whoever owns the money, it's theirs. Your money is yours, and my money is mine. Look at this house. Who paid for it in the beginning? When we divorce, it will still belong to the person who paid for it. It doesn't matter if my name is on the property deed. Even if my name is added, if this house was bought after marriage with money from your parents, it has nothing to do with me. So from now on, the old concept of the man works outside, the woman stays at home is completely outdated. The law doesn't care about how much housework I've done, how many years I've been a housewife, how many children I've had for the family, or how much I've contributed to this household. The law only protects the one who owns the property. So, if you have money in the future, and we get divorced, I won't get a single cent. After reading this new marriage law, I feel like I've completely lost my drive, and I have no motivation to do anything. I don't want to clean the house anymore, I don't want to wash clothes, and I don't want to take care of the kids. Because I've done so much housework, but no one keeps track of it, and no one counts it as a contribution. If I went out to work as a housekeeper, I would at least earn 5,000 or 6,000 yuan a month. But now I'm at home with no job and no income, and no matter how much effort I put in, it's all wasted. So from now on, don't think I'm lazy. You take care of the kids, make your own meals, and wash your own clothes. If you still want me to do the housework, then pay me 8,000 yuan a month. Then I'll do it.
新婚姻法已经出来了，有人让我谈一下。
The new marriage law has been enacted, and some people have asked me to share my views on it. Actually, what's there to discuss about this topic? First, we need to understand what exactly has been changed in the new marriage law. First, the issue of premarital property ownership has been clarified. The new marriage law stipulates that if a property was purchased before marriage, even if the woman's name is added to the property certificate after marriage, the property still belongs to the man as personal property. Furthermore, if the couple divorces within 3 years of marriage, the woman must return the dowry. These changes have made some women unhappy, believing that the law favors men and is unfair to women, even leading some to claim that it discriminates against women. However, in reality, the marriage law has always been based on the principles of fairness and justice. As long as both parties maintain their marriage with honesty, sincerity, and mutual support, the marriage law will not be a constraint on them. The problem lies in the fact that some women, especially certain little fairies, have started to treat marriage as a tool for acquiring wealth. This has led to societal dissatisfaction and misunderstanding of the marriage law. We cannot forget about a woman named Zhai Xinxin, a so-called money grabber, who lived a luxurious life through 4 marriages. She lived in a mansion, drove a luxury car, and had substantial savings. Eventually, her 4th husband was deceived into marriage and tricked into death by her, and she was eventually sentenced to prison. As a result, she could no longer enjoy the wealth she had accumulated. In China, some women have been completely brainwashed by certain societal ideas, believing they deserve to be pampered by a domineering CEO figure, regardless of whether they are ordinary women, divorced women, even women with 3 children, or even those who are menopausal or pregnant. This idea has, to some extent, become a cultural phenomenon, leading some to develop very irrational views about marriage. Isn't this turning men into victims or patsies? What's even more worrying is that some women have chaotic private lives before marriage, and once they get pregnant, they quickly look for a nice guy to be their savior, then hand over the child to him. This behavior essentially uses men as tools to resolve their own problems, without considering the other party's feelings and responsibilities. This has caused some men to fear and resist marriage, believing that it will only make them patsies and force them to take on unnecessary responsibilities. Therefore, the reputation of Chinese women is rapidly declining. Why? Because of these little fairies. The reason for the changes in the marriage law is, in fact, due to the behavior of some irresponsible women, which has prompted the state to amend and reconsider the law. Therefore, women should reflect on their roles and positioning in marriage and stop blindly pursuing money or using marriage as a means to acquire wealth. Everyone's personal conditions and family backgrounds are different, and when choosing a partner, we should more rationally assess our own situation and consider the other party's circumstances as well. As for the dowry issue, it is essentially a form of respect and commitment from the man to the woman, reflecting his attitude toward the marriage. I support giving a dowry, but it should be done within one's means. If the man is financially well off, he can give a higher dowry, but if his financial situation is average, the dowry should be smaller. So everything should be done according to one's ability, not using the dowry as a way to get rich. And certainly not like those money grabbers who use marriage to amass wealth.
你说我们养姑娘人家到底是触犯天条了呢，还是偷王母娘娘蟠桃了呢？
Do we women really violate some heavenly law? Or have we offended too many people? So girls, it's time to put down the kitchen knife, the broom, and the kids and go make money. On February 1st, the new marriage law was officially implemented. In the past, when getting married, the woman didn't have to prepare a house or a car. This myth has been shattered. After reading through the new marriage law, simply put, it means that your property is yours and mine is mine, and the two should not mix. Whether before or after marriage, even if your name is on the property deed, it doesn't matter. Whoever paid for the property is the actual owner. To put it bluntly, no matter how many years you've been a housewife, how many children you've given birth to, or how much housework you've done, all of that is voluntary and constitutes voluntary sacrifice. When you divorce, you might get nothing in compensation. The key point here is that whoever earns the money keeps it. Young girls don't believe in those myths anymore. That men make the money and you just need to be pretty. If you spend most of your time and energy on love, having children, sweeping the floor and grocery shopping, you might end up being replaced by a younger woman. Not only will you leave with nothing, but you might even end up homeless. The more you rely on a man, the higher the risk. After all, you can't rely on a mountain forever, and fathers age, and men might run away. They might take your house, car, and money with them when they go. So women, stop relying on anyone and start relying on yourselves. From now on, who would dare to marry easily? Who would give up their career to stay home and have kids? With this situation, isn't it obvious? I feel like these so-called experts studying the new marriage law aren't as insightful as I am, a rural woman. These experts are useless.
新婚姻法，男人看完以后乐坏了，感觉是在保护自己。
Once the new marriage law was enacted, men were extremely happy upon reading it, feeling as though they were finally standing on their own side and receiving protection. However, after reading the new marriage law, women naturally felt mixed emotions, even a bit of imbalance. They never expected that women could no longer use marriage to change their financial status. While the gold digger group does exist, the majority of women do not marry rich men. As for the specific provisions in the new marriage law, we won't go into them in detail here, but the core point is that whoever earns the money keeps it, and during divorce, property division will tend to favor the wealthier party. This means that women's economic independence within marriage has become even more difficult, because only women can bear children, and women are responsible for childbirth and family duties. This makes it hard for them to easily earn money outside the home. Many women in society are full-time homemakers, taking care of children and managing the household. It's not that they don't want to work and earn money. So, what do they get in return? All they get is a simple "you've worked hard" from their husbands and nothing more. This situation feels rather unfair to many women. But women don't panic and men don't get too smug. This situation will actually lead to another consequence. The marriage threshold will rise. In the future, many parents will remind their daughters before marriage that no matter how good their family background is, they should never marry a man who isn't capable. Since marriage no longer relies on the material conditions of the man, his car, house, or money, it means that material things will no longer determine marriage choices. As a result, the focus may shift to the man's own qualities. Women will begin to care less about his wealth and more about whether he possesses enough personal charm, can provide her with emotional support and a sense of security, whether his genes are excellent enough to have smart, healthy children, and whether he has strong social connections and resources that can benefit the woman. In other words, women will increasingly value the man's overall qualities and potential. So, unmarried men, don't get too complacent, and unmarried women, make sure to open your eyes wide and choose wisely.
Girls, take a close look at the new marriage law provisions. This will definitely give you a clearer understanding of marriage. Recently, many people online have been interpreting the new marriage law, but most of them have missed its true core. In fact, I believe the implementation of the new marriage law allows everyone to see the essence of marriage more clearly. What is the essence of marriage? It is essentially a partnership, a strong union, matching in social status and background. If you think that through marriage you can change your living conditions or place your happiness entirely in someone else's hands, that in itself is an unrealistic fantasy. Therefore, the deep meaning behind the new marriage law is, you must rely on your own strength to become stronger. A good marriage should be a process of mutual effort and mutual accomplishment, not one-sided dependence. So girls, you must understand this point well. See clearly the provisions of the marriage law, as it will help you become more aware of the true meaning of marriage. So, what is an independent woman? An independent woman does not mean completely relying on no one, but rather, an independent woman understands how to depend on multiple sources. You can rely on your family, friends, your career, and even the companionship and support of your children. The key to being an independent woman is that you can draw support and strength from multiple aspects, rather than placing all your dependence on one person. Therefore, after getting married, never put all your time and energy into the family. You should have your own social circle, your own societal value, your own hobbies, and even your own career or business. Only in this way can your life continue to improve. So, everyone must understand the true meaning of marriage. Today's women should understand that marriage, besides love and romance, also involves cooperation. It is a process of mutual effort, of strong union, and matching in social status and background. It is a process of mutual support and progress. Facing various challenges and storms in life, the two people in marriage should walk hand in hand and overcome every difficulty together. Therefore, if someone places all their happiness and joy in another person, that approach itself is flawed, and the structure of the marriage will face problems as well. Remember, relying on others will ultimately disappoint you because the person you depend on may change or leave. Whether male or female, you ultimately have to rely on yourself. So, remember, your husband is not just your lover or partner. He is also your life collaborator. You must learn to respect your husband and work together to set common goals and responsibilities. You need to jointly strive and take on the responsibilities and challenges in your marriage. Your shared interests are the happiness of the family, the growth of the children, as well as the wealth and future of the family. Do you agree with my point of view? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us, and we will continue to provide you with better content. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.